I miss when TV got really weird after midnight, Trev.
And that's when it really got interesting.
It's also when Rhonda Shear became a legend.
And now she's here, and she's got one.
It's OPINIONish on Rhonda Shear!
I love it.
Hey everybody, welcome to OPINIONish. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Travis Dale.
I got one.
I got one.
And guess what? Let's just get right into it. She's got one.
Wait. She's got one.
Yeah, it's opinions,
We're talking
right?
about opinions.
So
What
many
were you
opinions.
thinking?
Ask Van, my husband. He's in the corner.
Nobody puts little Van in the corner.
He tunes them out. He tunes my opinions out. As
I-
all husbands do.
I
Earmuffs, Van.
love your story about Van because it's something I wish I would have had as well. We'll get to talking about that as well.
Yeah, let's not get right to him.
Let's talk about Rhonda Shear
about
because we
me.
love you so much. I was talking about when you did our TV show, and I'm not.
great.
You probably hear this all the time. I literally spent many nights with you.
Thank you.
And I had just started out in radio. I was working in Gulfport, Mississippi. I had a little TV in the corner, Trav, and it said, "Must stay on the Weather Channel." There was a TV so you could see if the weather comes.
Right.
I ain't doing that. It's midnight to 6. No one's there. And I had it on USA. I would watch it Friday nights because I was at the time I was just a weekend overnight. I'm making zero money guy. And I would love watching that. And this is before computers, so you had to press buttons for the songs.
I love
so
that.
you do that. I mean, and you came on the Buzz a long time ago. You were so nice. And then when we were
I
talking,
remember.
Yes, I
it was
love-
great. You were ahead of your time, and I love that you were watching. I mean, it's not unusual to hear that people in overnight jobs were watching.
yeah.
Up all night. I have to say it that way. People get upset. Okay,
Trademark.
So this is like ends up as a good story. But my sister had brain surgery. She should have had it long before she did. But anyway, it was during the up all night time, and so she had to be flown out of New Orleans to Phoenix, a very special hospital. And so I'm meeting the doctors and I'm talking to them, and they knew me. And I'm like, "You guys know me from Up All Night?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You're going to operate on my sister?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You're a neurosurgeon and you watch Up All Night?" I got very nervous.
You're like cutting, and you're like, oh, that's good.
But they were like, "No, in between an emergency surgeries, like a lot of doctors watch your show." And then I found out doctors that were delivering babies, like, it was such a weird group of people that watch the show. Everything from the fanboys that you would expect,
Right.
to doctors, to lawyers, to overnight jobs. It was very, very cool. So I had like this wonderful mixture of fans. And according to USA Network, it was half women and half men. Everybody thinks it was more men than women, but couples watch together.
That's great.
And according to and seemingly at the conventions that I go to now to sign autographs, seems like a lot of grandfathers were watching with their young.
well, yeah, you wake up in the middle of the night, you got to pee, you watch it, turn on the TV, why not?
So there's like these guys that are like right at that, right at that age. I'm like, "You were watching Up on the..." Yeah, my grandfather used to watch it with, and then we'd watch together. So it's really funny. It's like definitely the different generations. So I won't talk about him now, but Van Fagan, who is my husband, he was married to someone else. Anyway, loser, both of them. Anyway,
That's what I love.
the ex
He's
and
right
him.
there.
I know, it doesn't matter. I did stand-up comedy. He's used to this. But anyway, my stepson used to watch with him. How weird is that?
Dude.
So then we
That's
become,
awesome.
he becomes my stepson. And then I'm doing stand-up comedy. And I'm doing really naughty
I
jokes.
see
in front of him.
Stacy's mom vibes.
Vibes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I was a 12-year-old
yeah.
when I first discovered you.
Oh,
so
that's-
are you getting that now at the
Did
cons?
I get you through puberty?
Hey, you and you
Was
and
there
Gilbert.
a sock involved?
yeah, it was
No, believe me, I've heard fun. I could probably go back and do a lot more stand-up now, just off of that, off of the
for
kids
sure.
that, that grew up
100%.
with me.
There has to be. I want to talk a little bit more, kind of get people to know who you are, because
Yes.
you actually, you went to Loyola University,
Yes.
graduated with a degree in communication.
Yes.
So, and people see, especially back then, I guess we know a little bit more when it comes to like streaming about people and who they are. But did you get kind of labeled like,
Oh, yeah.
here's this funny, she's, the goofy party
Right.
college
Yeah,
girl.
the bimbo.
The bimbo. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
so thank
no,
you.
well, so much. Okay, so when I moved to LA, I wanted to do a sitcom. That was my goal. So I started in an improv class. I wanted comedy. I was former Miss Louisiana. I wanted to break out of that and do. I loved comedy, and I always use it as a defense mechanism from guys trying to hit on me. It's like when you're telling a joke, it's amazing how things go down. You know, so it was kind of a defense mechanism. So I loved comedy. I grew up watching Barbara Eden. I Dream of Jeannie. So like she was my idol. So, so I get into stand up, the short story, and people telling me no, that I can't do it. You have to look funny to be funny. Back then in the early 80s, they
That's
had
why
no
I did
idea.
really well.
It was different with men. Men could get away
wholeheartedly,
with
you're
it.
right, yeah.
But women back then, there was Paula Poundstone. You know, it was just a few that were coming out, but no one was wearing makeup and short skirts, and that was the 80s. That look, the big hair. And I didn't want to change my look. I wanted to be who I was on stage. Anyway, they kept telling me no, and I'm like, I kept sitting in front of comedy clubs until they put me on. I had my 5 minutes, my 10 minutes, opening act. Then I became a middle act, then a headliner. It took a while. It takes a while,
Right.
but that happened. When I got up all night, I had been already on all these shows like Fall Guy and Three's Company and Married with Children and Happy Days. And I'd done just, you know, guest starring roles in all of those shows of the 80s.
Right.
And I was always cast as the bimbo.
Yeah.
But back then, they can't do this anymore. Casting calls would come out and they would say, big boob, blonde, bimbo type. They can't
Right.
do that.
Oh,
They
certainly.
can't
No,
put
no.
that. They can't say
No way.
anything. They'll put an age range. They'll put a name that may give it away that, you know, what kind of ethnicity
Buffy.
they're looking
Yeah.
for, but they can't give it away. So, so I finally got so tired of fighting the type because when I was going out for acting roles before comedy, I kept trying to play down whatever this is. Whatever this is, I kept playing it down, very little makeup, and then I'd hear, your mouth moves too sexy. And I'm like, okay, well, I
can't help it.
change that. And you're this, or you're that, or your eyebrows. And I can't do it. I can only be me.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to make it is yourself anyway, because
Right.
that's
agree.
that is who they're going to hire eventually. So I kept trying and playing against type, and it didn't work. So finally, I get this audition for Up All Night, and I did know through my agent they were looking for more sex appeal. There was a girl before me named Caroline Schlitt, who I thought was really sexy and adorable. She'd fit into more of today's comedy than back then.
Okay.
She was very smart, but they were looking for
Right.
USA was looking for over the top, comedic. I just felt like I knew what they were looking for.
Oh, that's you.
But I just, so, you know, everybody else that went out for the job went very hosty toasty. I'm a newscaster or whatever.
Okay.
And I walked in to the audition with a low cut dress, and I pulled out my blow dryer and started playing with my hair and blowing it out. And I think they thought I was so crazy.
Right.
And I was funny, and I had been doing stand up for a while then. So they're like, wow, okay, she's going to be able to improv in all of this. And so I got it. But I knew what they wanted. They wanted Gilbert and I to be able to hold people. Back then, the movies were schlock. Now they're like horror is huge.
Yeah,
now.
Right,
completely.
yeah.
It's like insane.
We talked about that a couple
It's
weeks ago.
insane, and even the schlocky ones are huge. But back then, it was USA Network's library, and whatever they had, they would put on. Some was back then they called it exploitation films of, you know, TNA, and then light horror, and then Trauma, the beginning of all these people that are now famous. And so I had, when I got it, I had no interest in being on any of those films. All these producers would walk in. I never asked one of them, can I have a part in your film? Because I just wanted to do stand up and have a sitcom. But anyway, getting back to how I got it, and I knew that they just wanted Gilbert and I to hold the attention over to the commercials so that we would sell product.
Yeah.
And they had huge advertisers. I mean, they had Budweiser, they had beers, they had Mars, they had Snapple. I was like their Snapple person. We did things that were so ahead of our time that they would do them now.
Brand integration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were in the show, and then we would have all these contests, and that would be within the show. We would be advertising Budweiser. So their account executives would ask me to go out and meet their advertisers. So
Yeah.
I'd be in New York City.
Did you meet
meeting-
Spuds McKenzie?
No.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. But I did meet like a lot of big advertising people, and it was a free lunch for me then. So it was like great. And they're like, oh, we like her. We'll do. So they kept doing all these wonderful things with Gilbert and I through the years. This show USA Up All Night was a cash cow for the network. We were like one of their first like original shows. And then think about what came after us. La Femme Nikita, Weird Science. I forget the name of the show.
Duckman was back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah,
we were making money to produce those big shows. I mean, you know, it was like amazing. I mean, we were like this little cash cow, and then the executives weren't watching us, so we got away with everything.
That had to bring a lot of freedom, like knowing that you could do
Everything.
that.
They kind of watched, like they'd give them a show every week, and we never got notes. But the only thing that was weird was that every year they changed producers on me. I was on for 8 years, and I had 7 different producers.
Did they all have different visions?
Different directors. They did, and they all wanted to make it their own, and I wanted to keep the character as and it did. I did change, but I also grew up with the character too. It started to grow, and then they moved the show to New York for 3 years. And I had Gilbert's producer who just wanted to torment me, and he was my producer director. And he put me like in clown outfits and paper bags where the whole show I was not seen at all. I mean, he would tie me to a light post, and then pretend like they were burning me at the stake. I mean, it was just like. And now I love this guy. Like, I look back at those shows, and they were really smart. They were just not where I wanted this character to go. I stayed true to the character, but it definitely changed.
Well, it sounds to me, Trevor, it sounds to me that you knew what you wanted, what you felt, and you knew obviously it was a success.
And I drove them crazy.
And you're like, hey, look, I got it. This is, you were the show.
I think I was always a producer, and I just didn't know it. I was told during my years in Hollywood acting that I was not manageable. And it took me till now to realize I know why. Because I wanted to produce this show. I wanted to produce. I had the vision of what I saw, and it wasn't wrong. It's just that I couldn't do that. So I always had the entrepreneurial spirit in me. It just, there wasn't.
Was it hard to get everybody else on board with your vision? Because a lot of times creative people that way.
Not with my early years, but I would definitely have little arguments with like different directors. And I'm a really easy person, but I would say I would go through the producer and. But usually I got my way, but sometimes I didn't. But then when I look back at these shows, I'm the only one who has like 400 and something episodes. I did like close to 450, and the reason why is USA Network literally erased all of the tape stock for the tape.
All 400 plus episodes.
Not
the
just
archive?
mine, but Gilbert Gottfried's like I feel worse about his because he was so brilliant that we lost all that material. Yeah. So, I mean, a few fans have shows here and there.
And like VHS.
But most of them have been, uploaded to
YouTube. Yeah.
I saw your very first episode, like when you announced that you got the job. That felt very real. Like that's really how you felt. Yeah.
And that was a guy named Tommy Lynch who produces and still produces children's programming. And we sat in my kitchen in Beverly Hills, and I came up with a character. I said, you want her over the top. I want to do Up All Night. And he goes, I like that. And I said, I want her to be aware, but naive, aware, but accepting of everything. So now I go to these shows, and all of these people who wouldn't have come out at the time, whatever they were like, thank you for allowing me to be me. This just happened like 3 days ago because I couldn't come out to my parents, and you allowed everything and everyone on your show. And that's really what the character was. It wasn't that I was stupid. It was just more of this.
You're like innocent, playful.
And we had porn stars on. We had cheerleaders on. It
was L.A.
It was L.A.
It was like Pee-wee's Playhouse. But
it really was.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, I never copied that. I don't know if he was on before me or after me or during me. I mean, I got to know him later. But my show was different where Gills had more of the New York kind of feel. But they initially wanted the show to be Rhonda of LA and Gil of New York so that we would take you out and show you the town. And it started that way for both of us. But then finally they got tired of looking for places. And it's hard to go on the road all the time. And it's tiring. And you would have to shoot at night. So we were doing it. And all of a sudden they went, maybe we'll find a studio and do some of this in the daytime. And that's what happened. We started shooting. So we did a good combination of both, though.
What would it, one episode, how would that be an all-day shoot or a couple days?
Absolutely. Some of them were 14 hours. But one day, some days we'd shoot 2, usually not. And the length of the show was dictated by how much they had to cut out of the film.
Oh, right.
So if it was a lot of nudity and a lot of language, we got more airtime. And if it was a movie like 16 Candles, which we like showed all the time with Molly Ringwald, then they didn't cut as much. Then we could have 10, 12 minutes to fill.
Yeah.
So that's how
I've never thought about that. That makes a lot of sense, though, and making why it was really ahead of its time as well for what it was.
So ahead of its time. And I know there's a show, maybe you guys knew it, called Night Flight that was on before us, and that was another show people asked for with Captain America. That was kind of like all over the place. It's the kind of programming people want now, which is one of the reasons, and we'll get to that, why I went back and started my own, what we're calling network. Because there's nothing out there that's eclectic at the moment. No channel, no streaming, at least, that I can think of. Maybe there is somewhere. But I wanted to kind of bring back the 90s or 80s or whatever.
It's a good time.
The crazy.
I did when the openings. You know, nowadays, like for shows, openings are only about 8 seconds long. But like the openings back then, they're 2 minutes long.
Right.
Like, okay, we get it. You're in LA. Let's go. I want to see Rhonda.
It's true. And so we actually brought back some of the original music.
And the feel of it, too, is there, too.
The feel of it. The feel. So, so
feel.
now we are just jumping ahead, is jumping way like 30-something years. Did it from 91 to 98, and my husband and I have been in the intimate apparel business for 25 years. And how that is after I got off of Up All Night, was right before I met Van. And I was going on auditions and wasn't getting anything. I mean, I was typed.
Yeah.
That was it. I was
wanted
typed
to ask
and I wasn't
because
getting anything.
Rhonda Shear, the character, Shear's the
Right.
name of you. Did you ever think about going by a stage name?
No, I was really stupid.
Your middle name's Honey, right?
Yes.
Like
I
Honey
was
Shear, even that?
I was really stupid. I've always wanted to put my name on everything, and I think at the end of the day,
Right.
it's really been stupid.
Well, I mean,
think
you
about
wanna put your name out
Skims.
there.
I mean, Skims is Kim Kardashian's
Right.
intimate apparel line. Even she didn't call it Kim's Bra. She called it Skims. The girl with, what's the name? Van? What's the other brand? I can't think of it. Spanx.
Spanx, okay,
She didn't, I mean, I can't name her name. Buckley is her last. She didn't name it.
Right.
I blanked on her name.
But that's why, because she didn't name her product ever.
Right.
So.
She was Spanx, which is a brilliant name. Which
People
you
go up
think
to her
of
and say, "Hi,
spanking
Mrs. Spanx."
Yeah, but you. Right, it's right. She was a lawyer. I mean, her father was a lawyer, and she's from Tampa, and her last name is Buckley. Susan.
Yeah.
Sarah Buckley.
Sarah Buckley.
Mm-hmm.
She's very smart.
Blakely. Sarah Blakely. There you go.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
It's quite all right.
Skims has taken over. She's everywhere. No, there's really an interesting thing about intimate apparel and celebrities and celebrity names, I think. But so Van and I, when we got into it, it's like we had to because we didn't have another choice. We were broke.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so I had like this huge credit card bill, and I mean that I had accumulated. And Van, he had a business. He has his own business. I wouldn't have married him if he didn't have a job.
Good job for having a job.
He had a job. It was his company. And he was the president and the owner. But what he didn't tell me in the car when he was making out with me, because we eloped in 15 days, is that, oh, yeah, I own my own business. You're going to have to maybe move to Lafayette, Louisiana for a while. I'm like, that's okay. Is that he had just given away he was no longer 51%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So he didn't have controlling interest.
He didn't have controlling interest.
But we got to talk about this. 15 days now. If you heard that on paper, we were like, "Whoa, what's going on?" But there's a little bit more. Than
You
that.
have history together. You guys reunited.
We did. We reunited.
Tell us that
it was
story.
The same stupid thing, like why I didn't use my. But I'm going to tell you the Van story. But yes, I should have used Trixie or whatever.
Right.
Like
Elvira. Okay.
Who I know very well.
Yeah, you do. I know
Sandra
y'all are
Peterson.
friends.
Except for even Joe Bob. His real name is John.
Yeah. Joe Bob Briggs.
And he is not that character.
Svengoolie is not his real name.
No. So that hurt me. Absolutely, 100%. But I was always about branding, even before branding was a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And marketing. Even when I got to LA, I hired a publicist, and I had a billboard on Sunset with me in a gold bikini. This is how far back. It was Go for the Gold before the '84 Olympics.
Okay.
And it was causing traffic on Sunset. It was a great billboard shot by a very famous photographer, Dick Zimmerman. And then people would say, wow, that's a great billboard. What does she do? Mm-hmm. Oh, her name was out there before I ever. I was brought up because I majored in communications and
Sure.
marketing and all that, and I was always told you got to catch their attention. Once you have their attention, you can show them you're talented. So that was my theory that I brought into LA. I've got to catch their attention,
Right.
and once they know me, then I can show them. But that's really not how it was. But I didn't know that. So I wormed my own way into LA.
And again,
Weaseled my own way.
that's who you are. You were in charge of your life. You where you're headed, what your image was going to be, and you still own it today, which is great.
I
and,
do.
and that's why even was there any which we're going to talk more about the network, but taking the name Up All Night over. Well, I mean, you
No.
own that, right?
And
No, they were
that
cool.
was smart. That was
Yeah.
the one thing I was smart
Yeah.
about. So right after, the network was sold, and
Right.
it had nothing to do with Gil or I. It was just sold, and we were taken off the air, and the program was changing. So anyway, I spoke to their attorneys, and I was always just like very nice to everyone and learning from
Yeah.
everyone, and they all knew me, and they all loved that I did a lot of PR for them. Whatever they asked, I was there. So I said, "Is there any way I can get the name Up All Night?"
Yeah.
And he said, come back to me in a year. Let's talk in a year. And I did, and I got it.
That's awesome.
It was crazy. There was no reason. I was an actress. I wasn't doing anything then.
But you became synonymous with the name. You coined the inflection on the up?
I did.
You have to.
That's
That
all
was
you.
it. Because Tommy Lynch did children's programming. It was kind of this childlike character, and he liked it, and
Yeah.
it was a character. I just should have named it something different.
We teased
Like
a little
Bambi.
bit about you and Van, and I want to get back to this because
Yes.
it's something I wish I had. But
really romantic.
It actually really is,
seems.
and you don't hear about it like this kind of thing. You mentioned
Because
Louisiana.
I was crazy.
You're crazy, but you guys knew each other. Were you
We
teenagers
knew
or
each
what?
other at 12 and 13.
Nolans?
From Nolans, junior high school. He was really the cute kid in class. And I was getting popular. I was like a little junior high school cheerleader. And then he was getting jealous of me. He was like my first boyfriend. I had maybe had one for 2 weeks before.
Sure.
And then Van came along. And we were like just these little lovebirds. And we really loved each other. And we dated, from till 16. And then he really did. He got jealous because boys were calling me because I was growing boobs
Yeah.
and things were happening. And my mother was saying, you really should go out with more guys than just one guy. But she liked Van, but she just wanted me to meet other
Yes.
people. And so he got jealous because he saw me. He did not. He says I cheated. He can't talk, thank goodness. But I didn't cheat. There was no cheating. There was no hand holding.
You held someone's hand?
No, I did not. I did not hold
Scandal.
anybody's hand. I'm taking a sip.
So I'm sure he's looking back now. You're Rhonda from Up All Night.
Right.
No, he didn't look back that much. You know how stupid he was. Okay, so during the year we break up, he breaks up with me, breaks my heart. Truly broke my heart. I have my
Van,
16th birthday
that's
party. He shows up to it and he leaves. And then he came for like 5 minutes. And then he goes off. And in that time period from 16 on, I won like 100 beauty pageants.
Yeah.
I went on to win 3 Miss Louisianas. I posed for Playboy with all my clothes on. I got in trouble for posing for Playboy with all my clothes on. Yeah. I was queen of something called the Floral Trail Society. It was not a pageant.
I know what that is.
It was a social honor that my parents paid. It was like kind of faux debutante, yes. And they dethroned me, dequeened me.
Because of Playboy?
And I
you
was
kidding me?
completely dressed. But back then, Playboy was a little more graphic. It's like,
Sure.
hello. They weren't, they got away from that. But for a minute, they thought they were hustler. And so my picture, this little tiny picture shows up in the corner of like a girl, like a spread eagle over my head. And I'm in an antebellum dress. But anyway, they dethroned me. I took them to court and wanted to be reinstated. I filed an injunction.
Good for you.
Good for you, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like this 6-hour court case with the lieutenant governor standing up for me, the mayor standing up for me. It probably looked like I slept with all these old men. I mean, if I could, I have the court case somewhere in our office. It's 6 hours of like incredible people talking about, and they're like, well, her thumb, it's her nipple. Can you imagine that back then? It was not my nipple. It was I was like this. And it was
Okay,
my
yeah.
thumb. And anyway, the judge finally said, I can't give you the title back, but you can file for monetary damages for sure over this. But there was no monetary. I mean, I was doing a commercial here, a movie here. I was still in college. There was nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, if that would have been today with social media, it would have gone insanely viral.
Oh, yeah.
It hit
Without a doubt.
Right.
UPI and AP worldwide.
That's wild.
Worldwide. First when I was dethroned, and then went the court case, and then Playboy started writing about me in the back of the magazine. They would do like all these like updates, and they're like, Rhonda got dethroned for, with her clothes on. So every time one of these articles would come out, especially when I took them to court, all over the world, that went viral. I still have some of the clippings from like different countries.
Do you think it took 6 hours because you got a lot of guys in there? They just wanted to look at the picture.
I don't.
I think there's some of that.
I was
involved.
so serious back then, but that
Like
led
a
to
magnifying glass on there, looking at thumbs.
Probably did. It was the wives. It was the wives.
Oh,
that-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pearl clutching.
It was like, they had the big antebellum hat. It's like, oh my goodness.
It's a big
she's in
deal.
this. She's in Playboy. Oh my God. Satan is going to take her away. Anyway, long story short, the guys who was president of the Floral Trail, he was running for Register of Conveyances. That office, which is extinct now, I'm sure. Back then, recorded all the real estate transactions for the city.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it would fall under another office.
It
now.
just sounds boring job.
Boring job. It was totally like paperwork. And back then in New Orleans, I had a great platform though. In New Orleans, and it wasn't my boobs. I had a great platform. It was that everything was on, it was in books, these big ledgers.
Yeah, pre-internet.
There was no internet. There was no even, what do you call it?
Microfiche?
Microfilm.
Yeah.
Microfilm. Thank you. Oh, good. So that was what I ran on. There's no microfilm. There's nothing. And New Orleans is below sea level.
Right.
Hello, Katrina.
Yeah.
So I ran on that. I'm like, could destroy every document about every piece of property in the city of New Orleans. Everything going back to the 1700s. And anyway, I ran for office against Gasper Skiro. It was his wife who I'm sure got the whole ball rolling. And I lost by 135 votes
Wow.
in a citywide election with over 35,000 people voting, which was a really good amount of people voting. I was endorsed by the mayor, who became the first black mayor of New Orleans, Dutch Morial, who was a wonderful man, who wanted to give me a job with the city. But at that time, I was getting a little antsy to go to L.A. I had already been accepted to Loyola Law School, and I didn't want to do that. I'm like, please, let me just go to L.A. It was my sister who taught me into running for office.
Yeah.
She goes, you need to get back at that man for doing that to you. Same sister who had the brain surgery 50 years later.
Now you're wondering, should
No,
listen
she's
to her.
totally
I love that.
I could do hours on her alone, but she's like, you need to run for office, and so I did. But I really wanted to move to L.A. and my parents were going to give me 6 months out there.
Okay.
So I pushed it back, but I ran for office. But that did help me. I mean, it just gave me an incredible amount of
Your life could have gone in so
experience.
many different paths.
So I could have become
Because Van broke your heart,
all because of Van.
and it would sent you on a revenge quest.
It did. Mary Landrieu, who was the first senator of Louisiana, state senator, told me years later. I was the first and youngest woman to ever run in the state of Louisiana. So she told me years later, you could have been me. And I could have been. I could have definitely have gone the political way.
Yeah.
And I was really feeling it when I was in it. I mean, when I put my heart in something, I put my heart in it.
But you caught the comedy bug, and that sent you
That's
out.
what's awesome
I caught
about
the
it.
LA
Yeah,
bug,
yeah.
got out there, was cast on a Bob Hope special.
Saw that.
And that was like the first thing. And then once and then
He was looking for an 11, not a
Yes.
10.
He was.
Then one up.
Hey, now.
They go
Right
to
after.
11.
And then I got Happy Days pretty close after
Yeah.
that. And then that was just it. 26 years later, that thing shows up in my life through classmates.com. That would be Van Fagan. If you're
Who
wondering.
initiated contact?
Yeah, I want to
He
hear about
did.
that.
He
he did. Smart.
It was through classmates.com, which wasn't a dating app. But
No,
it was
I
like,
remember Classmates.
That's it's Facebook before
Yeah,
Facebook
I think
was
it's actually
Facebook.
still out there.
It
Every now and
is.
then I hear from them. I wasn't on it. Excuse me. I wasn't on it, but he was looking for me. As a matter of fact, I kind of forgot. I didn't forget him because through the years, I had auditioned to be a
VH1?
Like a VJ?
Yeah.
VJ.
I was thinking, yes. Oh, I was thinking VHS. They go, ah! Senior moment. Yes, I did. And I had this whole little book that I went through in my audition, and there was a picture of Van and our first song that we love, Spooky by the Classics 4. So I was talking about Van a lot through the years. Like, he was my first boy. And I brought him even on Up All Night. I've got shows talking about Van. So anyway, he
that's
reaches
cool.
out to me, and I couldn't remember if he was older than me or younger, just because years had gone by. And eventually, I guess I didn't join, but he reached out to me. He reached out to me? Yeah. He joined or something. He paid. You have to pay, whatever.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me, and I get this email. And I had been with a guy for 14 years who was a stand-up comic. kind of hid behind him because I knew I was never going to marry him, but you know, he'd been on 21 Tonight shows and I was writing more material for him than he was helping me, believe me. But anyway, I knew I had to get out of it. I knew it was not going to go anywhere, and it was done.
Yeah.
So I had this interim boyfriend for a couple of months, and then Van shows up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my first sweetheart just wrote me.
Yeah.
And I said, he lives in Lafayette, Louisiana. He goes, oh my gosh, you don't even want to reach out to him. I'm sure he shops at Piggly Wiggly. He's bald, he's fat. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. In the meantime, I'd already told him. I'm like, he calls me and he says, so are you married? And I'm like, no, I've been waiting for you. Totally flirting with him.
Wow.
Just effing around with him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to show him my boobs because I had a boob job and just torment him. And I'm like thinking.
So girls do that. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you just admitted. See, that's why I love her. She's going to
No,
tell
I
us what things
actually
are.
wanted to sleep with him because I was in my early 40s and I had gotten to that age, 40, where you're not a slut, but you feel more.
Yeah.
You know who you are, I guess.
I was
right?
not a slut ever.
And you
I
guys
really
had
was
never
not.
consummated your relationship?
No.
Wow.
Just holding hands.
It was very innocent.
Okay.
Yes,
Very nice.
we were just holding hands, and he was copping a feel occasionally in my mother's
Way
pool.
to go. All right,
This is a really
man.
cute story. A second chance at first love, you know?
Van says that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie, says Van.
Oh, that's right. He did take my virginity. I forgot.
Oh, wait.
It was another senior moment.
Not very memorable.
Is this an exclusive we just got, I think?
No, you didn't.
No.
I said it before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? I must have been thinking about that other guy after you. We did not consummate the one that you thought I did.
I love it.
No, we did. I mean, it was later, but still, I was young. Like
Yeah.
15 is young. But
Yeah.
back then, people were ahead of their time.
For sure.
We really were in love, or we thought we were. I mean, we really were.
Well,
Excuse me.
He did a good job. Just as you were waving away, that rock has blinded me about 4 times
No,
already.
he had to make up for it.
He had to.
He stole my virginity. He had to make, but you know what? I became a virgin again. I know. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but
Okay.
as much as I kid about it, and my character was over the top sexy, I think I actually was a good girl.
Yeah,
and I was
I
a
believe
good girl
that.
trapped in a bad girl's body.
believe that.
So I pushed everyone away from me. I hid behind comedy, and I really didn't do anything with anybody, especially in LA. I was really stupid.
And that was in
I
the
should have
80s,
slept
90s.
with
It was so
everyone.
wild back there. You weren't partying and doing all that stuff?
I stayed home. I hung out with comics. The few parties I did go to, I was offered drugs, and I said no. I just
No to the cocaine.
Good Southern girl.
and the reason why is like I'm a hypochondriac because I was
Yeah.
afraid that somebody was putting something in it.
Right. Smart.
Or else I might have tried it, but I never tried marijuana. I mean, then I sound ridiculous. I didn't drink wine even until like later into my 30s. So I was really, I truly was focused, career focused.
So is that your interpretation of what you think like the party girl would have been? And that I think that brought a
had
little
friends
innocence, right?
that- But yeah, I mean, I had friends that were party girls, and I mean, I never thought anything of it. It was
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I definitely had situations that were scary. I mean, I had to literally run out of a couple of legit auditions that were held in legit places, like even on a studio lot, and then a couple of other times where it was like. Girls like invited me to this party at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and they were friends, model friends. I mean, I was modeling and doing everything back then. You know, whatever. This is before Up All Night. This is long before because I didn't get that until I was in my 30s. So I'm talking, I was out there at 23 on, so a lot of years before Up All Night came along. But I was invited to this party, and the girls invited me. They're like, "Oh, we'll see you there at whatever 7:30, whatever time, 8." So I get there. It was at one of the bungalows, and I can't mention the name because he's a really well-known guy, and he's one of the few that's not dead. So, but he did own a football team. So I'll just
So once he dies, then you could say it.
Okay.
yeah, probably. No, his family's pretty big too. But anyway, I get to this hotel, this suite, whatever, bungalow, and so I'm talking to everybody, and I'm mentioning names, and I'm from New Orleans, and they're like, "Oh, I know so and so from New Orleans," and I'm like, "Oh, he's my parents' neighbor," thinking, "Oh, well, that's going to make me really cool because I live in a good neighborhood. He knows my parent." And so all of a sudden he walks away, this gentleman, and one of his henchmen come over, and they're like, "Oh, so-and-so would like to sleep with you. Is $750 enough?" At the moment, I was thinking, even though that was a long time ago, I was thinking, it's really a low amount. I mean, I wasn't sleeping with her for any amount, but it was like
Right.
so
Sure, yeah, no,
insulting
yeah.
because I just told
You're
him
doing
where
the
my
math.
Indecent proposal. Demi got $1 million.
I was definitely entrepreneurial because I was thinking, God, like you own a major football team that's
Let me
winning
get my lawyer, and we'll.
yeah. And then
That
in the
makes
meantime,
sense.
it was like it really did feel like someone slapped me in my face. Though I mean, if literally I was like, I must have been green, and I turned around and walked out. The two girls that invited me never showed up. So it was kind of like a setup.
Seemed like a trap. Yeah.
So there wasn't any, I mean, nothing bad was going on at this party. And I also had a lifetime love affair that was wonderful with Playboy that started with that little tiny picture.
Really?
That went on.
Well, they're in your corner, it sounds like. They were like, hey, we're with you
Hugh
in this fight,
Hefner is
right?
nothing like what those women. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure the man liked his sex and had orgies and all that, but this whole forcing himself on. I saw men get thrown out of the Playboy mansion for just looking at a girl the wrong way.
So you hung out at the mansion back in the day?
I didn't hang out. I was never a playmate. I did work at the Playboy Club when I first got to LA for 1 week, but I couldn't count change. It's very bad at math. So I quit. And then years later, the bunny mother said, you should have told me that. And I would have made you a door bunny. I'm like, that I would have loved.
Yeah, with the ears.
With the ears. And I could have been talking to everybody. And it was probably big producers that walked in. But anyway, but I went to Playboy in 91. This is after my stand-up career is going now, and I'm headlining, and so we're talking years later. And they had invited me. I used to go up there on Friday nights for movies. I just had a running relationship with them, but I brought to them the women of comedy, and they loved it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like a
And they're
pictorial?
like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because they did the women of this, women of that.
Sure.
And so they're like, that's a great idea. How are you going to find pretty comics? I'm like, you guys are losers. We're all dressing down because you're telling us we have to look stupid to be funny. So I brought them a few. They found a few, and a couple of my girlfriends got in there. And then I would brought to the channel like Women of Comedy. It almost became a show. It didn't on the channel. But then literally a year later, Up All Night took off, and then they asked me to do a celebrity pictorial for them in '93. And Jerry Seinfeld was on the cover. It's a really cool issue. It's like it goes for like $500 on eBay.
Wow.
Oh, really?
It's Jenny McCarthy's first issue, and they only had like 6 or 7 men ever on the cover, and it was Jerry Seinfeld at his height. So it was very cool though to go full circle with them. And then I was always on the list, and I would get invited to the big parties like New Year's Eve. And I mean, I wasn't like every weekend there kind of gal, but Hef knew me, and he wanted the pictorial to be funny, and it was literally, we did it in places that were open and up all night.
Oh, that's smart.
Definitely got Van in there. One of the later things that we did was I got Van into the mansion. Very hard to get guys in, but when we first got married, Hef was getting up there, but I got him in. And then we ended up doing a line for his last wife, Crystal Hefner, a line of intimate apparel.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And it seemingly...
I'm glad you said that because honestly, I was thinking line. And you were talking about drugs earlier, and I was like, "Wait a minute, did I miss?" I also, that's what I thought you were talking about for a second. And I'm glad you.
It's the mansion,
That's what I thought.
It's the 90s.
It was the 90s.
We did do a line. This was
Stay away
now
from that
we're
cocaine.
talking about not that many years ago. We did a line of intimate apparel for Crystal Hefner. And the problem was she wanted to do other things, but he wanted her home by 9 p.m. and he was really up there in age. And she just was really afraid at that point to speak on camera. So it was hard. I did get her on some shopping channels. So it kind of just fell apart. Yeah. But they painted really bad pictures of him, which I never saw, later on.
And well, you talk about a guy right there that did change the world, if you want to think about it.
For
mean, for whatever way you want to look at it, he
did do it in a classy way. And he did. There was good articles. And even the girls, like he got away from... The pictorials were very beautifully done because it was like one picture of me. I was a judge, like a night judge, and I had jeweled handcuffs just hanging off my arms. They were gorgeous. They were literally bracelets.
Okay.
And they were airbrushed out because he didn't like anything that would come off like bondage. So I mean, he was very careful of how women looked. Of course, it was nudity, but it was if you really look at the work, it was beautiful. And he was a great guy, and he wanted so many of the girls to go on and become stars, and some of them did, and there was a few along the way that didn't. But
all right, we are talking about that line of lingerie and
not the line,
the line of coke. But how did that transition go into? Obviously, you have your assets, and you're very lovely, and it's fun to watch those the shows. And very beautiful as you still are.
Thank you.
You move into the bras.
Out of desperation, because Van and I did.
That, yeah.
So very quickly, we didn't really have a job. Well, we did, but we didn't. I was doing stand-up comedy, and that actually was feeding us for a while. What happened was he ended up but having to sell his business because of stuff with the ex-wife. And I mean, it just became a big cluster. Yuck. It was bad. So we went, we're both very entrepreneurial. I don't know. We are very similar that way. And so we're like, let's just start over and do something together and make up for lost time. So we found out, he did take one job in Dallas working for someone else. He was in the software business, that developed software for the oil business, which was in Louisiana, where he was living in Lafayette, that ran the oil fields. He could explain it better, but I'll just do it in my stupid way. I know he's dying to say something, but he can't. Anyway,
quiet down over there.
Yeah, he did all that software shit. Anyway, so I never understood it. But anyway, he took a job with a company that was similar, and he really couldn't work for anyone else. So after 3 months, he's like, I don't have a job. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this isn't good. I'm doing stand-up comedy. He was producing my comedy show. I was doing Rhonda Shear's pajama party, up all night pajama party on the road. We were doing it in Vegas. It was really a great show. I'm like, oh, I got to get him back to LA. So now we lived in Lafayette for a few months. That was the scariest thing where he lived. The women hated me there. And even though I had nothing to do with his divorce, came along years after the divorce, a couple of years, they didn't want Van to be with someone else. So
I can understand that.
They did not. They would invite him to parties and not to me.
Oh, that's not.
And wait, it gets better. His ex left him. He didn't leave her. Huh. And so she wasn't even the one that wanted. I mean, he didn't cheat. He was a good boy. He really was. So I'm like, you guys, and they were like, no, we're always going to be on her side, right. The cow side. So
and
anyway.
they let you know that, right? The cows. Wow. Rhonda, how do you feel about that?
I really feel very fine, and I feel even more about it 25 years later. I even feel more so that she looks horrible for her age. She's actually 2 years younger than me. It's like, she is disgusting. Oh, my God. I hope she's listening. Okay, but anyway.
We do, too. We hope that, and many others do as well.
We just don't even know how I hope she's listening. But anyway, so we left and went to Dallas because he did find this other job. And I'm like, okay, we're getting closer to L.A.
Inching your way there.
We went to San Diego where he was looking for another job. I'm like, we are so close. Now I'm going to auditions in L.A. Now I'm getting... I'm getting a few calls for auditions again. And then I'm like, that didn't work out. We stayed there half a year, got him to L.A. And we were there like almost 2 years. And it was great. That's where the business started. Okay. So what happened was I was standing in front of a comedy club, and a woman in the industry who was on one of the shopping channels came up to me and said, I'm leaving. She had a small business on HSN.
Oh, okay.
In both swim and in intimates. And she said, I'm leaving the channel. I would actually like to be in business with you. But she couldn't be on both channels. So really what she wanted to do was against the law.
Oh, okay.
At that time, HSN and QVC are together now. But back then, HSN and QVC were different. She wanted to go to QVC, which was the bigger of the network, the bigger moneymaker. Always has been, somehow, even though HSN was the first. So anyway, she told us about it, and we found out. So in other words, she gave us the idea.
Right.
And I had been all that time in my intimate apparel all those years on Up All Night.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to be there. So Van and I proceeded to send my stuff to HSN, basically my pictures, my resume, and a few samples of product that we bought from downtown LA. And they went, okay, because they were desperate too. We were desperate. They were desperate. Never thinking it would go anywhere. We didn't think. Van and I, though, we are both the kind of people that put stakes in it and go for it, So we went for it, and Van will tell you, what did we make? $10,000 that first time? $10,000? $20,000 the first airing.
First time you aired the...
See, he knows. I have no idea.
28.
I still can't count change.
To me, that sounds good.
It was great.
It was great. Okay, fantastic.
So I still can't count change all these years later. Put the bunny ears back on. Bambi should have been my name on Up All Night. Anyway, finances is not my thing. This is why he is good and why marketing and being on air is my thing, and design.
So you were designing the actual...
I love designing. I actually always designed, too. I was designing my costumes, going back to pageants. I was designing my stuff on Up All Night. I worked with designers. I never knew it. Never knew. Yeah. I never majored in it because I wasn't thinking that would be my life. But anyway, long story short, we get on HSN. They invite us to come back as soon as possible because we sold out like in 6 minutes.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, we can be back next week. And Van's kicking me under the table because I know nothing about this part of the business. We need product. I'm like, oh, what's that? I'll dance. I'll sing.
You can sell anything.
I'll do some stand-up. Yeah. And I was trying to incorporate jokes, thinking that someone from LA would see me on HSN. No one from LA ever watched HSN. Yeah. Actually, through the years I did. I found that, but no one was calling me and watching me on HSN going, oh, I got a great role. Spielberg never called. Yeah. But anyway, we started working we didn't have any money, so we kept putting our own money back into the business. And we took what we had, our little savings that we had, and we'd buy product, sell it, buy product, sell it, save a little, buy. And we did it on our own until I think that we were still doing that when we met you.
Yes, when you came on the Buzz, yeah.
And then we finally did an infomercial for the Ahh Bra. Van kept seeing it kill. We were working with a company that was working with us. It was a small company out of Canada. So he was working with us. He was a small manufacturer. We're this small new company. The banks wouldn't even look at us. And so eventually we just, we did this infomercial, and it became like one of the biggest selling infomercials of all time on the Ahh Bra. And that was Van's idea, because I never saw a bra being a universal product, but it did become one.
Wow.
Anyway, all of a sudden banks were coming to us.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You're talking to two guys. I like looking at them. I think they're wonderful. You're talking about a product that we don't get to see very often. What makes the Ahh Bra different, though? Is it like the Wonder Bra kind of thing?
It was a universal bra that had no underwire or no hooks and eyes for you guys to unsnap. You had to step into it or put it over your head.
Oh, so you're talking about you made it harder for us to...
Harder for you guys. Easy for women. More of what they call a relaxing bra,
A sports bra?
Not a sports bra, much more comfortable than that, but just literally, it was in that category of just being a comfortable everyday bra for women to wear either around the house or if you're not. It wasn't a push-up bra. It wasn't. And it was getting away from that whole thing of hooks and eyes and straps and things. It had nothing to
painful,
adjust.
right? The wiring can stab you.
Most bras are very painful. But
Mitch, what are you? You're.
I'm a
B. I'm a generous B. I think at least. Maybe a C.
Maybe a B.
A B.
You're definitely.
Now, when you met me the last time, I was a good D cup. The last time you saw me,
oh yeah,
I was. But no, gone down to A cup.
Well, I can still put you on. But
I'd be happy to wear one for you.
But the Ahh Bra put us on the map.
Yeah.
And then what happened is we started. Bambi started winning entrepreneurial awards. We won.
That's great.
Yeah, this is since we definitely saw you. We won Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. And we were winning fastest growing, company in Florida. This business, I was speaking in front of colleges. I was speaking at all these business things, and because I was the front person for the line, they're asking me, and eventually I was like, "Van, you need to just stand next to me because when they talk about the money, I
just point to him."
Isn't it? It's a relief of that, right? I mean, that you don't have to concentrate on that. You could be yourself. You can also sell, and you're excited about it.
Yeah.
And I tell I sound old, but we're like kids. If you're excited about something, people go, "Why are they excited?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I love our products are really truly great. I mean, now years later, we've done thousands of products, thousands of SKUs.
Yeah.
But that was the bra that put us on the map, and we still sell it. We still sell it. We sold it in 34 countries. We sold 35 million units around the world.
That is a lot.
A lot.
You times that by 2 because there's 2 of them. That's even more.
Oh no! I was going to say there's 2 boobies, but there was 3 bras in every pack. So
okay. Oh wow!
That way.
6 or 9, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of
it was insane.
See, I can't do math either.
No, but
I'd have to work the door.
We're still in Australia, in the UK. We are in. What am I missing? Australia, where the kangaroos are.
Have you ever explored men's intimate apparel?
I want to hear about
Ahh Bra.
We actually had a short-lived stint with Cato Kalin.
Okay.
He's a long time
I've met Cato. He's a
great.
fun guy. He's very
intelligent. He's not what people think.
Absolutely.
He was like he was the Bambo of my bimby.
Yeah, back in the day.
But he's finally doing great stuff, and I'm really happy for him. But we created a line called Slackers because he was always the kid about that he was a slacker.
Yeah.
And we created this loungewear line, and it was great. It was just ahead of its time. Like it would be better now with all the stuff online. But and then with Anthony Sullivan, who was the OxyClean guy, and he's still a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He wanted to do a shapewear line, so we co-produced an infomercial line. I can't remember what it was called, but that went nowhere. And then most recently, I'm trying to do a line with Nick Nemeth, who is Dolph Ziggler, the wrestler.
Oh, the wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we've become friends because wrestling and horror.
Yeah.
He watched me on Up All Night when he was a kid.
Right.
I had him into the studio to do an Up All Night, a wrestling. We actually brought a wrestling ring into my bedroom set, into the bedroom set within our studio. So it is a large studio.
That's fun.
And he was in it. We had a blast. We have all these eclectic kind of people on there. And I think he would just be great for a line if we can just make sure that we have his name and he's not involved with one of the.
Sure.
I understand.
But I think it would be really great because you could do kids. It would be very universal to do like little boys and the father son
Yeah.
panties.
I'm wearing them now.
Underoos. Yeah.
But anyway, so I'd like to do it.
Nice.
But it's not a rush.
Right.
So when she would get on this QVC, I got to tell this story. I want you to share yours as well. My mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, she called up because on QVC you could call and talk to them while they're on
HSN, but that's
HSN.
okay.
I'm sorry, I
That's
apologize.
all right.
And she dials up and she gets in on. I find this out afterwards,
amazing.
right? And she's selling Ahh Bra. And I love that woman. She's great. She's just down home. She is a beautiful person. She got through and she was talking about how much she loves her Ahh Bra, right? And she was
Wow.
talking to you. It's great. And she goes, and my son-in-law. and you're like, who? And she goes, Mitch English on the Daily Buzz. And
But
and
if she said that, I would have totally.
you're like, oh yeah, I love Mitch.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that made me, I think, stay married just a little bit longer to her daughter. I don't know, but I was so thankful. I go, man, you wonder about that sort
I
of
do
thing because
kind
you
of
were very
remember.
genuine when you
But
came
I can
up.
tell you, when people did call, and a lot of times I had friends who did call through from college or high school or something. Of course, I mean,
You go, it's live, right?
Yeah, and I knew them, and some of the funniest calls. I mean, some are really funny, and I had a lot of these, which I had the sound of tinkling ice cubes. Maybe you can make that with like, and you just knew it was either a guy or a woman, because a lot of times it's like, "Hello, Rhonda." They've been drinking their whole lives and smoking, and they're like,
Right.
or there'd be a guy that would pop through every now and then, and it'd say, "So I'm Jack. What size should I take if I'm 250 pounds?" And every now and then something would sneak through.
Yeah.
And you have to say that stand-up helped you because you
Roll
have
with
a
the
crowd.
punches,
Yeah,
yeah.
roll with it.
There was
And you have to
nothing.
have an answer, and you have to
There is
keep it rolling.
Nothing that I mean, especially live TV like that. Things are moving around. There's other people on the set. There's other brands coming up. There's other.
Yeah.
There's people talking, walking,
Yeah.
and they're changing out your product. They're putting mannequins together. Things are falling down.
Yeah.
There's noises. It's just like nothing.
live.
You become totally.
Did you ever have any comedy mentors that helped you like get that quick back in the day, or did anybody give you some tips?
I think that I took improv, and that I think was my original thing with Harvey Lembeck, and he was very famous, and he was just, it teaches you to think on your feet and also never to say no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know that, which is basically my Fumpa fell out. It's like, sure,
Sure it did. I'm sure.
So does mine.
Make a noise.
So it really is kind of a part of improv. I think improv is great for everybody in
agree.
performing, or even just people with public speaking.
Yeah.
And then I love Joan Rivers. You
Yeah.
know, I love Rita. I still love Rita Rudner. I mean, there's certain women I love, but then I just wanted to do my own thing too. So I did. Then I did hang a lot with comics, including the guy that I was around with, Bobby Kelton, for many years. Who was on 21 Tonight shows. I heard that over and over, but he was very clean. It's probably what kept him from actually going, not that being clean, but he never opened up you never got to know who he really was.
Oh, I see.
But you were
would
on
never say Fumpa.
You were on the Tonight Show also, right?
But just in a sketch. Boy,
sketch.
you really did your homework.
I did. I enjoyed
our
doing my
homework.
homework.
Yeah,
You could tell he was a nerd back in high
But
school.
yeah, you got you mentioned Bob Hope and Johnny Carson. Those
Yeah,
are
I really
legends.
I'm ancient. It's amazing.
No.
I'm still walking. I actually got to work with Bob Hope.
Yeah.
On a special. I got to work with George Burns.
Oh, wow.
On Our Magazine when his book came out. I Had to Live to Be 100 or More. I was the girl that was demonstrating his exercises.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work with Milton Berle.
Yeah.
And I got to work with and I got to work with
Johnny.
With Johnny Carson, but I had to work with Joan Rivers
Really?
a bunch of times.
That's gotta be
on
an
her
honor,
talk
yeah.
show, and that was like amazing. So she got to know me. And even she was up on in Canada on the Shopping Channel there, and so I would run into her. But Johnny Carson, I think that I would have probably been booked on his show as a guest, but it was his last year was like. Yeah.
They packed it with it, yeah.
They packed it,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
couldn't
with
get
every
on,
show,
but I
yeah,
would have
so
been ready then. I did hear, and I've talked about this on a lot of shows, because this is really true, especially the 80s and the 90s. This was what they called the jiggle era. This was Baywatch. This was
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels.
TNA.
Everybody had fake boobs. No one does. They're all flat. They're all like, they have so much less than you now. I hate the look now.
They all have tattoos also now.
They have,
I noticed that,
it's
you're
like
right.
that and just like nothing. I mean, you go, the Oscars are like, what the heck is that? I'm sorry, I'm in the business, but boobs are good, and there's nothing wrong with having them. But along with even small ones, but. Back then, it was a jiggle era. So guys would say things like, if you don't sleep with me, you're going to be blackballed from the industry. And I was truly a good girl. Like, I should have slept with the people that I think some of them that let go were really good guys that were marriage material. But I was so afraid of my own shadow. I mean, really, some nice guys did come through my life that I didn't go out with just because my mother and father had me so terrified of my own shadow.
But I think with that's
but I did
probably
have some scary stuff happen.
part of your longevity is because you stayed who you are and you stayed with those values. I'm sure it has a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Right?
It's also, I mean, and truly, I don't think I could have been any other way because I obviously, when I look back on my career, I'm starting to realize the things I did do, like speak up to the producers on Up All Night when I wanted things my way. I definitely was leaning more into the entrepreneur side of the business, so the marketing side, the PR side. So I was eclectic. My life has been eclectic. My career has been eclectic. Everybody goes, you've done so much, but I like that I've done so much. Now I'm acting. This is crazy. I'm doing more serious roles now than I did back then. I have a really serious role coming up in a film that I shoot in November, and it's just a 2-person film, and it's about grief. And these 2 people dealing with their daughter's death. So that is blowing my mind. And I did a couple of horror films, and I just did All the Queen's Men. I mean, it's crazy how much work I'm doing right now. I actually have an agent.
We have to talk about Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have one line.
It doesn't matter. Everybody knows
I
you
know.
know.
Everybody comes up to me at the conventions with the Spaceballs thing to sign. Everybody.
What was your line?
Fish. I gave it all.
I'll have the Luna Fish.
But yeah.
Okay, I have to tell you the quick story about
Okay, please do.
Mel Brooks cast everything.
Yeah.
And
Personally.
Personally. So usually when you have a small role like that, they'll either, well, he was a director, but producer, someone else will sign off. If you have a one-line role, the casting director sometimes will say, you know, they'll take the casting director's word and just cast her.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks cast everyone and read everyone. So I went in initially to read for the waitress role, which was, she took my order, which wasn't many more lines than mine, but she was a blonde. And he goes, I really like you. I really like you for the waitress. You're funny, but you don't have blonde hair. I'm like, I can wear a wig. He goes, no, I really like you. Just go to wardrobe. I ended up wearing my own dress. It was a red rubber dress. Go to wardrobe. Come to the set when they give you a call time, and I'm going to throw some lines at you.
Awesome.
And it was just this iconic scene with the diner and the dancing
John
thing
Candy,
and John Candy.
Bill Pullman,
We're in. I mean, it was and it was an iconic scene, and everybody knows it, and people memorize all the lines from it.
Yeah.
And I gave away the one poster I had that had my name on it to someone who was a big fan. I wish I had it because you know, truly, it's a big collector's item.
Oh, I believe it.
And now people come up to me with Dukes of Hazzards. There's a lot of Dukes of Hazzard fans that are coming up to me because I had a role in there. Not quite Spaceballs. I tried to get myself into this last Spaceballs.
The sequel's coming out 40 years almost to the day. Next year, 2027.
I called I didn't call anybody. I wrote through Facebook and not Facebook, Instagram, like all the writers, producers. Yeah. I called the casting person.
Josh Gad's behind it. Yeah.
Yes, I tried to. I'm sure he saw it and wrote. I'll tell you why I know he must have seen it. No answer back. But no, that's not the reason why. I got to the casting director. I think wrote them, and I told them the story.
Yeah.
I was not long because you can't write a long thing, but I was in it. Mel Brooks cast me. I will pay my own way to get there. This is something I just want to do. I think it'll be awesome. My husband and I will make a trip of it. And finally, I do have an agent, and she calls. She goes, "You got to quit bugging these people." So I guess it had gotten around that I'd been to the casting director, to the producers, because fans kept saying you need to be in it.
100%.
I didn't care if I was in it or not, but they were shooting. I don't even know where they shot.
Australia. I believe.
And they're like, we're not going to spend that money.
I know what we would have got you. Spaceballs the bra.
That's what I'm saying.
That's hey, I got Spaceballs the bra. And who would have gone for it?
I could definitely do some
space.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. For guys,
I can't say space.
Space boobs. Yeah.
Daddy Dog. I call him Daddy Dog.
Daddy Dog.
When the movie comes out, Space Y'alls.
Space Y'alls. Yeah.
Giddy up. You heard it right here. You could see the brain and moving.
Mel, if you're listening,
I'm really good with lines and words and coming up with up all that. That is like my thing is to do that.
We got to talk about the brand new network. It's on Roku. It is Up All Night on Roku Network. Tell us about that.
Okay, it is on the Roku app. So you have to have either a Fire Stick or you have to have a Roku television.
Okay.
I have to tell you all that first. Don't be mad at me. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll be the big kids and get on the Roku free channel. But right now, it's downloadable. You just go to the Roku app and you download Up All Night Network. Or you can also download Rhonda Shear's Scream Queens, or just look for Scream Queens. So they're both my channels. Van and I have a partner on that, but it's really ours. And Up All Night Network is really cool because what it is, it's all the programming that you loved in the 80s and 90s. It's music videos, it's horror films, it's comedy films, it's TNA films, it's comedy specials, it's wrestling. We're going to have some live wrestling on there. Movie shorts. I'm talking to a really sexy show in Vegas right now that if I can get footage or somehow make it's really sexy. Here's the cool thing about Roku, the Roku app, the Up All Night app, is that all the movies that we cut everything out of back in the 90s, we don't have to cut anything out. We don't have to cut language out. We don't have to cut nudity out. So we can show everything.
All right. So, and what's cool about it, Trav, is that let's say I'm up for a bikini movie from the 90s. It has them all laid out that way. Oh, I want to see a monster movie. It's got them all laid out. Oh, and there's an Andy Kaufman documentary on there as well.
And we will have more documentaries. We're also talking to podcasters.
All right.
Yeah. When can we move in?
Right away. Okay. I think I can help you with that.
Please, we would love to be on there.
I think I know someone who knows someone.
All right, we have some other ideas for some shows we'd like to share with you. So can we turn this, and Van, can we turn this into a pitch meeting?
You can come and join me on the mic.
Come on up. We're going to pitch some ideas here for you.
I'm getting a frog in my throat.
While you're doing that, what I love about Rhonda, both businesses, they're dog friendly.
Oh,
right.
Totally.
And so if you bring your dog to work, you're fine with it, right?
Yeah, well, I brought my 3 chihuahuas yesterday, and they peed and pooed everywhere. So the other dogs weren't happy about it.
All right, I'm going to make sure we get Van in here on this as well. All right,
oh,
so here we go. So we thought we would pitch you guys some ideas because you got this beautiful studio in St. Petersburg, right?
Yeah, we need the ideas because we are doing original programming.
Maybe instead as a podcast.
Let me tell you what the studios consist of.
Okay, please do.
First of all, we have two huge studios.
Not just my boobs.
Somewhere around 5,000, 6,000 square feet each, right? And in those studios, we have multiple sets and so forth. We have the Up All Night set, and so we can produce just about anything in those studios.
All right, I'm writing this down.
Then we have 5 podcast rooms, right? And so
he talks slower than I do.
We do podcasts. You can come in and do your podcast. We'll produce it. You can produce it, whatever you want. So we can rent the space, or we can produce the whole show if you'd like.
I love that idea.
Right, and of course we also do a lot of content. We also do sales. So we sell on if you want to come in and you want to
live
sell
shopping.
So TikTok. Facebook Live, those kind of things. We can also, accommodate you and do the whole thing for you.
We're really just starting to get some national bookings, and we've done some commercials now too. So, but Van and I have an idea for another show that I'd like to bring to a whole nother channel.
Yeah.
And hoping to do that. And I have ideas. I want to do more. It costs to produce, even for us to produce in our own studio. It costs because we have to bring in crew. And but let's hear some pitches.
Okay, these are some ideas.
I want to
This is
hear
where
pitches.
the money is a problem, right? She's like, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this.
Because I know the thing is, I know I can sell it.
Yeah, you can make it work.
It's frustrating that I can't
this
produce all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to give you some ideas.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so instead of Up All Night, how about Down All Day? 2 severely hungover hosts are forced to watch Michael Bay movies. It's completely hungover.
Would it work, yes or no?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No?
Maybe for a select few. Maybe the 2 people hosting it.
What do you got, Mitch?
Another one is Up All Right, and that's when people who insist that they've seen a movie before but clearly haven't. That's all they talk about is like, oh, no, I know. Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
That would be me the way I host. That's perfect.
Okay, so that's a good
That's a good one.
Up All Right is okay. All right.
What about In Most Mornings? You never know who'll turn up. This is hosted by actor Don Most. I think you can get him on. He doesn't have a podcast yet.
You know him from Happy Days, huh?
Yes, I know Donnie well. He's singing and doing shows
jazz,
now.
right?
Yeah. What was the name of the show again?
In most mornings. So we're not sure whatever works with his schedule.
We got another title, For the Most Part.
Yeah, for the most part.
I think I'll pitch it to him.
pitch that up.
You can pitch it to him.
You guys doing kitchen shows? You know, they're really popular.
We are
right.
building a kitchen set as we speak.
All right, this is a great one. Go ahead and get this now. It's called Oops, That Wasn't Chicken.
That was not. Sorry.
And it's basically
like
the
it.
cooking show where the secret ingredient is secret for a reason.
Yeah.
You like it?
Nowadays, I do.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's not so far off with Impossible Burgers and stuff like that.
Well, we get the Real Housewives of the Villages.
This is great.
Come for the
That one I
pickleball.
actually
stay
really
for the
like.
penicillin.
No, that I love. That I
Come
love.
for the pickleball, stay for the penicillin.
Yeah.
I love that one.
All
I
right,
actually
that's
have
a good
someone
one.
who's president of MGM. I'm going to tell about
All right.
that.
I got one. Now, Van, y'all said you could put cars in your studio?
Yeah.
All right. This one's called The Fast and the Bi-Curious. And this is about two alpha males that travel the world reviewing the most romantic destinations on Earth while stubbornly refusing to acknowledge that they're the perfect honeymooners. Will it work or not? You think?
I think it would work now.
Good one.
I think. I don't know how long the joke will last.
At least one episode.
I think it's a one-episode show.
Instead of the actor studio, how about the bad actor studio? This is serious interviews with people who only appeared as zombie number 4 in a B movie.
So many films.
Yeah.
It'd be hundreds of thousands.
That's well into syndication.
I cannot even tell you that. Right now, it's the Real Housewives of,
Right, for sure.
of the Villages
All right.
or the Bad
So far we
Housewives.
got
I think
that
we got a green light.
Yeah, that one's great. That's a green light.
This one, again, you take it or leave it. It's called Pimp My Bride. And legally, we can't tell you what the plot is on that one. Would you buy it just off the name?
Actually, that one might go too. That one,
All right.
I think you got two.
All right, we have.
How about this last one?
I think if the first one's easier to sell, it would be hard to find the other people.
I agree.
It'd be hard to cast, but maybe not. For money, people do anything.
And for money. We have
You
one
got the
final.
last one?
The final one I think we're
Okay.
going to leave you with is called Not Up Too Much. It's where two hosts with no plan pitch show ideas to glamorous TV legends. Would you buy it?
I buy it.
I love it.
I buy it.
I love it.
We're green light.
I'm telling you, the Villages is hysterical. That image is hysterical.
Can you imagine that? And then you have the widowed, and you can like even break it off the widowed housewives because then that's a whole other thing.
Oh my
There's a lot of,
God! Just doing
loofahs.
Loofahs everywhere.
hanging from the
loofahs.
dash.
and you could do so much. Just all the golf carts that are decorated.
Yeah.
With and then there's like flags that mean you're into threesomes.
Yeah.
flags that
the
enforce some
loofahs
fun.
do.
That's the loofahs.
Oh, the
yeah.
loofahs. Oh,
That's their code.
That's their code.
really?
My hand
See, I
habits.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine was coming in from Vegas. There's a talk show in Vegas, and he wanted me to co-host in the Villages some shows, and I can't do it. I'm out of town next week. I was dying to do it.
Now my in-laws. We
if
go
I
there.
do, we're going to do the show.
Okay. I got to tell you, I don't know if it's because I'm the age now. I'm allowed to live there now, but it's actually there's always something going on, and they have these these squares everywhere, and they play music, and they're playing '80s music.
They're
I love it.
It's great, isn't it?
No, I
Fun
love
guy.
it. And actually, we know a couple that moved there because we have a home in North Carolina, Highlands, North Carolina. And that couple, they're of the age to move there, but they're good looking, you know? So I don't think it would be so hard to cast those people.
so.
I think you could find people at the lower end and at the upper end.
All right, we're
You
giving
guys-
you that idea. So
I
You
love
guys
that
would
idea.
crush in the Villages.
I want to do a show for that.
right.
Why hasn't anybody done it?
No,
We're
you're
gonna
right.
do it.
There's got to be. I know there's a documentary that they have done. I can't remember the.
No, we don't
name
want
of
the
it,
documentary.
But not a doc. There are characters there. They just busted a dude with a big Viagra.
Yeah.
He was bringing stuff in. This happened like 2 weeks ago.
That's
He was
hysterical.
they opened up a Hooters there. My hand to God, I am not making this
What
up.
about the traffic jam? He curses the Villages every time we're passing there.
Yeah.
What is everybody like? It's the. Oh, no, I won't go.
I love it.
It's the sex shop. I don't know what it is.
There's no doubt that you are the queen of B movies for sure, Rhonda. And we
Thank
wanted
you.
to play a little game. You can both y'all play.
Okay.
And we give
You
you a
gotta
title.
stand close to
We
me.
give you a title of a B movie.
Okay.
And you tell me if it's real or if it's BS.
Oh, God.
And the name of the game is called B movie or BS.
Or BS.
All right. All right.
I like it.
Trav, you want to take the first one? Are you
Sure.
Okay,
This is
we're-
Deathbed, the bed that eats.
B movie or BS?
BS.
No,
It's
that-
real.
It's a real movie. It's about a cursed bed that literally swallows and digests anyone unlucky enough to lie down on it.
That's awesome. I need that for Up All Night. You need to send that over
The
to
bed
me.
that-
We're going to give you this list.
Okay, that's great.
The next one, Trailer Park of the Damned. B movie or BS? Trailer Park of the Damned.
BS.
You are correct.
That's
Circle
correct.
gets to swear. Very nice.
Okay, this is Velocipaster.
That has to be for real because it's such a. You couldn't come up with that name.
What's it about?
It's a priest who gains the ability to transform into a dinosaur and fight crime and ninjas.
I gotta have these. I have to see these.
Here's the next one. Frankenhooker.
That's real.
Oh, you know that one.
You know that? Well, it's quick.
I do know it. I don't know. I can't remember it, but I know it's
You
real.
are right. A medical student rebuilds his dead fiance using parts from New York prostitutes.
You know who produced that?
Who's that?
I don't know.
I don't. I'll find out if you like it.
I just know the name.
Okay, this is Monsterd. Monsterd. It's
Monster.
yeah,
And
not
it's
monster. It's Monsterd.
T-U-R-D. Monsterd.
Yeah.
Monster.
B movie or BS? Monsterd.
It's real.
And it's also S. It is real. Yes.
Yeah, oh, I'm doing good.
You are good.
The Legend of the Rollerblade 7.
I was in that.
Yes. I was like, oh, you should
Who else
better
is
know that one for
Joe
sure.
Estevez, and you guessed it, Frank Stallone.
Thank you again
Thank
so
you.
much.
It's so much fun.
And
Thanks, Rhonda.
this place is welcome. You are
Thank
welcome
you.
here anytime. We want you to come in.
Yeah.
Find out more details, of course, at rhondashear.com. You can
Thank
check out
you.
Rhonda Shear Up All Night for the new Roku channel network. You definitely on Roku as well, and you can download it and check it out like I did, right? I got one.
I got one.
Do you have one?
I have one, of
Do you
course.
have more
Now
than
you
one?
do.
I have two.
Yeah. We're talking about opinions, and this has been Opinionist with Rhonda Shear.
Yeah.